How gangster is like Asian boys out in LA?
They go crazy.
Like,
yeah, they go crazy. You talk about the Asian boy Crips? Yeah, they go crazy. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Not even a full day after Loose Cannon's shocking admission, both he and Bricc Baby were taken into custody. It was like deja vu, history repeating itself in a single day, with both men arrested almost simultaneously. The real blunder, however, wasn't acknowledging the arrest itself. After all, Bricc Baby had previously spoken about his past criminal activities. The critical misstep was openly admitting to being paid to go after Cannon, a confession that strongly hinted at the existence of a mafia-style criminal organization. With a record already loaded with serious charges, this admission could mark the end of the road. Bricc Baby might very well face life behind bars. On Wednesday, March 19, 2025, an Instagram post from No Jumper LA, where Bricc Baby co-hosted, confirmed the rapper's arrest by law enforcement. The post featured a photo of Bricc Baby alongside Loose Cannon and the reputed leader of the gang, Eugene Henley Jr., also known as Big U. It also included a headshot collage of several other alleged gang members, some already detained and others still on the run. The caption read, "No Jumper host Bricc Baby was arrested alongside Loose Cannon, Big U, and other alleged members of the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips in Operation Drawdown." In the aftermath of Operation Drawdown, a South Los Angeles gang takedown spearheaded by the U.S. Attorney's Office, the arrest of Bricc Baby and his alleged associates arose from a criminal complaint lodged against Big U Enterprises by FBI Special Agent Andrew Rusa. According to court filings, the organization allegedly tightened its grip on Los Angeles through a ruthless campaign of violence, fear, and coercion. Leveraging Big U's influential status and deep connections, the group allegedly operated a sprawling extortion scheme that persisted for years. Although multiple arrests were carried out on Wednesday, reports indicated that Big U himself remained at large, evading capture. Meanwhile, Bricc Baby, Loose Cannon, and at least 15 others faced an array of federal charges, including drug trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and firearms offenses. A conviction on these counts could mean a lengthy prison term for Bricc Baby, echoing the fates of other artists swept up in RICO indictments. For instance, New York drill rapper K Flock recently faced his own legal downfall. On Thursday, March 20th, 2025, a jury convicted him of racketeering conspiracy, the use of a firearm resulting in death, attempted murder, and assault with a dangerous weapon. However, he was acquitted of murder in aid of racketeering charges connected to the 2021 killing of Wasco Hernandez. His trial, which began on March 10th, featured testimony from multiple witnesses, including a former associate turned state cooperator. With sentencing scheduled for July 16th, K Flock could potentially face a life sentence. Another prominent figure in RICO cases, rapper Young Thug, recently regained his freedom after striking a plea deal in a Georgia RICO trial that dragged on for about 2 years. These high-profile cases underscore the severity of the charges facing Bricc Baby and his co-defendants as they navigate the unfolding legal storm. In October 2024, the rapper pleaded no contest to charges under the RICO Act and for his role as a gang leader. As a result, he received time served on multiple counts and was placed on probation for 15 years. This case joins a growing list of high-profile RICO-related convictions, such as that of Brooklyn rapper Casanova. Casanova, whose real name is Caswell Sr., was one of 18 individuals charged in 2020 in connection with the untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation gang. Prosecutors accused the group of committing numerous violent acts across New York City. In 2022, Casanova pleaded guilty to racketeering and conspiracy to distribute over 100 kilograms of marijuana. Despite publicly renouncing his ties to the gang prior to sentencing, a New York judge handed him a 15-year prison term on June 27, 2023. Over the years, other prominent artists have also faced RICO-related charges, including Fetty Wap, Guna, YFN Lucci, Hoodrich Pablo Juan, and OMB Bloodbath. Some of these cases are ongoing, while others have resulted in lengthy prison sentences. The spotlight, however, has recently shifted to Bricc Baby's arrest, fueling a wave of online rumors and conspiracy theories. Beneath the No Jumper LA Instagram post announcing Bricc Baby's arrest, the comment section erupted with speculation. Many fans questioned whether Adam22, the show's host, had some level of involvement. One user commented, "Adam profits from getting black people to speak on their gang politics, and that's why they got arrested. He better be paying everybody's bail." Another wrote, "You the one really the Fed, Mr. Adam." A third remarked, "Adam22 rubbing his hands like Birdman right now." In the middle of all the controversy, one outspoken commenter didn't hold back, calling out Adam22 directly. The finger-pointing reached a peak on March 20th, prompting Adam22 to address the swirling rumors on his Instagram story. In the video, he flatly dismissed the accusations, reminding viewers that his podcast had helped many individuals transition off the streets and into legitimate ways of making money. Adam22 also made it clear that, despite occasionally joking around, he truly considered Bricc Baby and Loose Cannon his friends. He expressed his commitment to supporting them through their current legal battles, emphasizing that their predicament wasn't his doing. The clip quickly went viral, racking up over 250,000 views in just a few hours. As the video made its way to platforms like X, a wave of comments followed. Many users doubled down on blaming Adam22 for what happened. One notable comment read, "You employ people, Adam, and they snitch on themselves on No Jumper. That's why the No Jumper name is being mentioned." This sparked a flurry of similar responses. Another wrote, "You put people in positions to embarrass themselves and get indicted. Yes, you certainly put people in position, LOL." Other critics were even harsher, accusing Adam22 of encouraging guests to humiliate themselves for entertainment, exploiting street culture despite not coming from it, and then denying any responsibility when things went south. One user declared, "This is the worst kind of person, someone who pushes you to make a fool of yourself, someone who thrives on drama, someone who bastardizes street culture while not being from it, and then acts surprised when it backfires. Typical clown from a typical clown." Amidst the flood of condemnation, some fans took a different stance, suggesting the blame fell on the individuals who allowed their words to incriminate them. As one commenter noted, "If you're dumb enough to go on these shows and run your mouth crazy, what do you expect? I never understood these dudes." While Adam22's No Jumper podcast offered Bricc Baby a platform to share his gang-related experiences, the rapper clearly relished recounting his criminal past. Despite repeated warnings from fans that such public confessions might eventually land him in trouble, Bricc Baby continued to appear on various podcasts, freely discussing details of his former gang life. Bricc Baby's fascination with gang culture seemed almost addictive. In an industry where many rappers proudly highlight their gang affiliations, Bricc Baby took it to another level. Whether he was on No Jumper or other platforms, he constantly revisited the same narrative: gang ties, past crimes, and his turbulent history. He portrayed himself as someone who had moved on, but his frequent storytelling painted a different picture, one of someone still deeply tied to the allure of gang life. It's no surprise that his recent arrest underscores his ongoing connection to that lifestyle. Bricc Baby appeared to take pride in his past, repeatedly diving into it during interviews, even when it was clear those details could be used against him. This isn't just conjecture, it's something Bricc Baby himself has acknowledged. In a September 2024 Vlad TV interview, he spoke openly about how, even as a child, he admired the criminal world. He idolized his parents' criminal activities and grew up surrounded by the allure of dirty money, which shaped his view of success. His parents, successful drug dealers who made substantial sums, influenced his early fascination with crime. Although they weren't deeply entrenched in gang activity, their illegal dealings left a lasting impression on Bricc Baby. When asked in that same Vlad TV interview about how his parents' legal troubles affected him, Bricc Baby's candid response revealed just how formative those experiences were. Reflecting on his early years, Bricc Baby acknowledged that his youthful mindset was shaped by ignorance, leading both him and his brothers to believe that getting caught and serving time was almost a family tradition, something they felt they had to go through to truly belong. Growing up in an environment where relatives frequently ended up behind bars created a skewed sense of normalcy, making it seem as if incarceration was a rite of passage. By the age of 16, Bricc Baby was already immersed in dealing drugs, But his criminal journey began even earlier. He recounted his first crime at just 14, during his first year of high school. It involved a girl who wanted revenge on her father. She provided not only the details, but also left a window open, allowing Bricc Baby to break in and steal drugs and cash. That day, he walked away with 30 pounds of marijuana and $9,000 in cash, a pivotal moment that set him firmly on the path of criminal activity. Bricc Baby, despite claiming his parents weren't gang members, took his own rebellious path into gang life. This defiance led him to trouble on the streets and ultimately prompted his decision to join a gang for protection. At just 14, he aligned himself with the Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips. His dedication to the gang's culture quickly earned him the nickname Baby Wild Bill, which later evolved to Wild Bill as he rose through the ranks. And finally, Bricc Baby earned the nickname Billy Bad. Around 2000, his connection with Big U deepened his involvement in the inner workings of the Crips. Over the years, Bricc Baby found himself repeatedly in trouble, amassing 4 felony convictions. Yet, despite his record, he never served more than 4 years in jail, a fact that sparked widespread speculation. Critics questioned how Bricc Baby could rack up multiple felonies without lengthy jail time. The YouTube channel Swamp Stories even labeled him a snitch, fueling rumors that he might have cooperated with authorities. During a January 2025 Vlad TV interview, Bricc Baby addressed these allegations, firmly denying any informant activity. He attributed his relatively light sentences to the high-powered lawyers he's hired over the years who have helped him navigate and often escape severe legal consequences. He said, "Talk what you do in jail time. I did 7. Adding to the speculation, WAC 100 publicly claimed in November 2024 that Bricc Baby was a federal informant, insisting that his cooperation would soon be exposed. At the same time, Bricc Baby's name was swirling in rumors related to the Lil Durk murder-for-hire case. Allegedly, Bricc Baby provided Lil Durk with the location of Quando Rondo, which supposedly led to the tragic August 19, 2022, shooting that killed Rondo's cousin Louis Poob. Although no solid evidence has surfaced to confirm Bricc Baby's involvement, fans have been quick to connect the dots due to his gang affiliations and his shared industry connections with Durk. These overlapping circles, riddled with violence and gang culture, continue to fuel the speculation, leaving Bricc Baby's name tangled in a web of controversy. Though Bricc Baby's alleged role in murder-for-hire schemes remains unclear, his recent arrest has unveiled a trove of serious allegations tied to the Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips, particularly under the leadership of Big U. The takedown, dubbed Operation Drawdown, has exposed a network of criminal activity that law enforcement officials describe as mafia-like. So what exactly is Operation Drawdown? It's a wide-reaching law enforcement initiative that set its sights on the Big U enterprise and its connection to the Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips. Originating in Los Angeles, this gang emerged in the 1970s and quickly grew notorious, especially in the Hyde Park area of South Los Angeles. Over time, the Rollin 60s became one of the city's most feared gangs, with a history of violent conflicts, particularly with rivals like the 8-Tray gangster Crips. After decades of criminal dominance, Operation Drawdown finally moved in. The investigation uncovered the scope of the Big U Enterprises operations, which authorities likened to a full-blown organized crime ring. The coordinated effort led to the arrests of several members, including Bricc Baby. However, Big U initially evaded capture. Later, according to reports, he voluntarily turned himself in following the criminal complaint filed against the group. This operation marks a major blow to one of Los Angeles' most infamous gangs, shining a spotlight on years of hidden activity and marking what could be a turning point in the fight against gang violence in the city. According to Andrew Rusa, the group worked to dominate the city through a campaign of intimidation, violence, and fear. This criminal network, allegedly in collaboration with Big U Enterprise, extorted individuals and businesses throughout Los Angeles. During a press briefing, Acting U.S. Attorney Joseph T. McNally highlighted how Big U Enterprise concealed its illegal operations behind a false reputation as a legitimate organization. McNally emphasized that Eugene Henley, known as Big U, portrayed himself as a rapper, producer, and philanthropist who guided young people away from a life of crime. In reality, McNally alleged, Big U orchestrated violence and silenced anyone who stood in his way. He even cited a chilling example, the January 2021 murder of an aspiring musician referred to as RW in court documents. At the time, RW had just been signed to Unique Music, a label co-owned by Big U and Mark Bearclaw Martin. The victim was flown to a recording studio owned by a Grammy-winning producer, but reportedly refused to record there and instead created a diss track aimed at Big U. This act of defiance allegedly led Big U to confront RW in Las Vegas. According to the allegations, Big U then drove the victim to the outskirts of the city, shot him, and disposed of the body in a remote desert ditch. After the murder, Big U allegedly flew back to Los Angeles with his associate, Sylvester Robinson, who is also now in custody. These claims, detailed in court filings, underscore the alleged criminal operations that investigators say were hidden behind Big U's public image. Before the murder, Big U reportedly ordered studio staff to leave the premises, while Robinson allegedly erased security footage to cover their tracks. Later, Big U is said to have warned witnesses to stay silent about RW's death. Beyond the alleged homicide, prosecutors accused Big U of trying to defraud the government. They claimed he falsely reported a $200,000 profit in 2019 to qualify for COVID relief funds, asserting that his music label had been operating at a loss. McNally didn't hold back in his statements. He pointed out that Big U used his nonprofit, Developing Options, as a shield to mask criminal activities and evade law enforcement scrutiny. Developing Options, a Hyde Park-based organization, reportedly received significant funding from the City of Los Angeles' Gang Reduction Youth Development (GRID) program, which included federal funds. Additionally, the nonprofit attracted donations from high-profile sources like NBA players. According to McNally, these resources allowed Big U to maintain his facade of philanthropy while engaging in illicit activities behind the scenes. Now that Big U and his associates have been charged, they face up to 20 years in prison if convicted. McNally wrapped up the press conference by thanking the numerous law enforcement agencies involved, including the Los Angeles Metropolitan Gang Task Force, FBI, LAPD, IRS Criminal Investigation, and the DOJ's Inspector General's Office. He stressed that Operation Drawdown's success was due to the collective effort of these organizations. He also assured the residents of Los Angeles that their communities would be safer with these suspects off the streets. Ale Davis, the assistant director of the FBI's Los Angeles field office, also addressed the public after the indictment was unsealed. Davis emphasized that the defendants had spent years committing violent acts and stealing funds from taxpayers and generous donors alike. She noted that whether through intimidation or the guise of being reformed gang members, the defendants had evaded justice for far too long. The indictment marked the culmination of a 4-year investigation, signaling a significant step toward holding them accountable. Davis highlighted that this case has strengthened the resolve of law enforcement to crack down on criminal enterprises across Los Angeles. To date, authorities have arrested 10 members and associates of the Rollin' 60s, all facing charges including drug trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, murder, and firearms offenses. Interestingly, just a day before their arrests, No Jumper co-hosts Bricc Baby and Loose Cannon openly discussed their past encounters with law enforcement. During their exchange, Bricc Baby asked Loose Cannon about his previous arrests, claiming he had been picked up twice by the feds. Loose Cannon fired back, insisting Bricc Baby already knew the truth. Their banter turned into a heated recounting of old events. Loose Cannon described how years ago, when people came after Bricc Baby to reclaim possessions, Bricc Baby warned him of the looming threat instead of simply complying. This incident marked the beginning of their friendship, which has remained strong despite recent tensions. However, some fans saw this candid conversation as incriminating. One commenter remarked, "They just gave themselves away," while another noted, "Too much internet talk." Though many believe the interview only highlighted what was already known, it's clear that law enforcement's investigation turned up substantial evidence connecting the duo to crimes tied to the Big U enterprise. What remains to be seen is how the legal proceedings will unfold. For now, we can only watch as the full story comes to light.